I'm in the fourth dimension and somebody's asking me to describe it verbally. And that's the thing about the fourth dimension. It's no words, no images, no symbols, all pure, real energy and vibrations, says John Frusciante, guitarist of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, sitting on top of a cool roof in Los Angeles in the year 1990. Fellow Toastmasters and most honored guests. Tonight, I would like to introduce you to me, Tommy Abelman, or as I was officially named by my dad over there in the city of Tel Aviv in the year 2000 as Tom Or, which means in the Hebrew language, pure light. It's like I'm in the fourth dimension and somebody's asking me to describe it verbally. Profound, right? Didn't think so. But this seemingly confusing line changed my life forever at a time where I was looking for direction, at a time where I needed clarity, at a time when I was searching for meaning. These words gave me a taste that there's something above my troubled situation, that there's a deeper root to life. So let's come back to this in a little bit, but first I'll tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'll get to how these words so deeply changed my life. So as I mentioned, I was born in Tel Aviv, and at a very young age, my family decided to move to the freezing cold country of Canada, which I'm sure you can all relate to. I grew up as the middle child of 5 boys. Wow. And as a child, I was always very sensitive and very perceptive and a very deeply emotionally feeling person. So I'm sure you all could imagine the type of absolute chaos that ensues growing up in a family of 5 boys. Together we would play baseball in the street at peak traffic hour, and we would play basketball out until late. We'd set up our skateboard ramps in the middle of the street and do all these tricks. And my poor stepmother, she needed to go to Costco every two days to keep the fridge full. Keeping enough food in the house was a full-time exercise in supply chain management. So I always did well in school, and I ended up going to my Bachelor's of Commerce at Ted Rogers School of Management, and I graduated with distinction, later working in business. But something interesting happened at the start of my university degree. This newfound sense of independence, this moving away from home, and this shaking up of my normal way of living really shook up my world, and I was in a vulnerable spot. I was looking for a direction in this quest to develop myself as an individual adult, to find who am I really. And at the time, I needed an outlet to express myself in this vulnerable spot. So what did I do? I decided to start playing guitar. And at that time, I really discovered my love of playing guitar. I would play all day long. And I also discovered at that time my love for the greatest band in the whole wide world, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, of course. And I would listen to the Chili Peppers all day long, and I'd play guitar all day long, and it struck a really deep chord into my inner soul. And so at 18 years old, I'm sitting in my college dormitory, and I'm sitting there watching a documentary, of course, about the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I come across this funny line that the guitarist says. He's sitting on a roof and he says, "It's like I'm in the fourth dimension and this music's just coming to my head." And although it was so funny in expression, I found it so profound in its meaning that it seemed that the guitarist was trying to say that he's drawing his music from a higher plane, from a place where forms are not yet formed in this world, where everything is pure energy. And I saw this as so profound, and I felt in a deep felt sense that these words were true, that I could connect to this higher world, that's what I was connecting to in music, and that no matter the type of situation that was before me, I could overcome it by looking to the spiritual world. So I became obsessed with chasing the fourth dimension, namely to be more in touch with the spiritual world, to try live above the mundane of this life. And at that time, it expressed itself in playing guitar and listening to rock and roll music all day long. So I had this apartment in Midtown. I moved into this apartment in Midtown, and on the walls were pictures of rock stars everywhere, and I had all my guitars on this row here and a whole wall of amps over here, and I would cause quite a racket all day long. My neighbors really loved it. So how do we reconcile this rock star image with the way I look today? I mean, I didn't always have such a nice sport coat. Nice sport coat, right? Well, another change occurred shortly after that, where I started to become deeply in touch and interested in studying the spiritual aspects of Judaism and learning these ancient texts in the pursuit of living above the mundane of life and attaching to a higher world and transcending whatever challenges unfold around me. So fast forward to January 2025, where I moved from this nice apartment filled with guitars and amplifiers, and I went to the old city of Jerusalem to live for a year in the old city, one street away from the Western Wall. And I immersed myself in the ancient texts of Judaism, in the Talmud, in the Old Testament, and in the works of Kabbalah and mysticism. And I came back a completely changed person, more refined in my thinking, and more calm in my mind, and more ready to tackle one of the greatest anxieties in my life at the time, the Toastmasters icebreaker speech. Toastmasters, together we are making history. We're making history together. So my search for this fourth dimension, this higher world, has brought me here to this very room to share this experience with all of you. And I'm still searching every day to live above the mundane, to transcend the ever-unfolding challenges that present themselves in my outside world, and to live one line above with the joy that there's an order to the ever-unfolding outside world. In Toastmasters, sometimes our situation seems stuck, we feel trapped, but we must always remember that we have so much potential and we can achieve so much. And if we think positively and apply ourselves, we can achieve great heights. So I look forward to embarking on this journey with all of you.